back into alumni relations. 4 things that you need to do, and this is the rest of this, guys, is tactical. This is how you communicate with your alumni. This is how you work with your alumni association to communicate with your alumni. There are 4 areas of concentration: identifying your alumni, communicating with them, cultivating them, and then soliciting them. We talked about being, you want certain things from your alumni, and it varies, so that's the solicit part of it. So we're going to break this down step by step. In there, if you currently have a database, your goal is to, through identifying your alumni, to continue to try to find them off alumni. I'm sure in your database you have guys without email addresses, or you send out an email and you get 20 to 30 bounce backs, right? Yep. Your goal is to enrich that database. We do it all the time through the headquarters. If you don't have a database, the first thing you do, call me. I'll give you a database. I know, I have a record of every alumni starting with Frederick Southgate Taylor. 0010001. That's Freddie T. Alright? Goes all the way up to the guy that just got initiated last week. We have that record. We need to work together to enrich that. So it's finding those lost alumni. For those of you guys that do have alumni associations, there's really probably 3 databases floating out there. We have the International Fraternities database, you probably have your chapters database, and then the Alumni Association has a database. Guys, we need to sync those up. Let me house your data. When you get an alumni update, send it to me, send it to Nevin. We will put it in our database, and we will archive it for you. Think of it this way. Instead of you maintaining it, it's an Excel sheet, isn't it? Yeah, that database. How about instead of you having to, when you get the update, you get the business card, instead of having to go in and type in yourself, you just forward it to me. And I put it in the database. Whenever you send out your mailing, you say, Ben, I need my alumni list. Boom, Excel spreadsheet. All right, section 2 is to communicate with them. That's newsletters. It's emails, newsletters, and social media. It's a combination of all 3 things. It's a communications plan. Be thorough and personal, use a variety of means of contact, and send invitations to all your events. So again, that 5 here, it's newsletters, it's your website, and it's social media. It's all of them. It's not just Facebook. It's not just MailChimp. It's a combination of all 3 things. And the backbone or the foundation of your alumni communications has to be a newsletter. Guys, you said you want something from your alumni. I guess you need money, or you want money from them. You gotta spend money to make money. Remember that adage? You have to invest in your alumni relations program. As you go through your budgeting process this fall, if you're not mailing a physical newsletter, you have to budget for it. And it's expensive. It's 50 cents now, postage is like 45, whatever it is. I mean, it's expensive. Print a quality newsletter to mail it to them. Do that at least twice a year. Newsletters twice a year, 80-20 rule. They want to hear that you're good. Beyond that, they really don't care. They want to hear about other alumni. 80% alumni news, 20% chapter news. Paper and electronic, so again, have that budget. And when you do the electronic newsletter, find a template that works for you and just keep using that. If you go onto the fraternity's website, under our media resources, we have a MailChimp template. MailChimp is a free newsletter service constant contact. You can send out newsletters that way, and it's a PIKE Garden template that Justin True created, and you can go and implement that. So with your newsletters, if you're using e-newsletters, have a template, keep it the same, build your brand. Okay, the 3rd area is to cultivate them. It's alumni events. You have to have events. With events, it's the quality of the event, not the quantity of the event. And a couple things come into play. Plan them well in advance. When I spend the majority of my time working with alumni, training volunteers. We give basically a similar version of this presentation that's geared at them, what your alumni association should be doing. They should be doing these same 4 things, okay? We all do the same thing, we all win. When I ask them, what's the biggest problem with chapter events, what do they tell me? Not enough time, yeah. I got an email the week of, I'm not gonna book a plane ticket, or I'm too busy. Guys, my personal calendar, I'm 30 years old, and I'm not that old to me. I'm not that old. My weekends, my calendar is booked till Christmas. I know what I'm doing every weekend. It is August 2nd. For the next 6 months, I know what I'm doing. I know the trips I'm taking for work. I know what I'm doing on those weekends. You want to get on my calendar for a holiday open house at the Pike House? You're too late. Send it out as quickly as you can. You don't have to have all the details. Save the date. Minimum 6 months in advance. Set the date, get the information out to them, and then minimum 2 months out. Include send out the RSVP form, collect the who's going to come, the attendance, sign up, all that good stuff. What I would say to coordinate your event with them is once a year. Hopefully they have a planning meeting. Attend that with them. Your alumni relations chairman should be the liaison to the Alumni Association. Make sense? He goes to the meeting and they say, okay, what kind of events do we want to do this year? Founders Day and Homecoming. The chapter then says, okay, how can we help you with that? And you talk about it from there. That's coordinating it. And with the newsletter, the 80-20 rule, let the alumni find the 80% of alumni news. Your job is to get an update on what the chapter doing. They want to see your wins. They want to get a nice group shot of you guys at Pike University or at formal. Once you take a picture before the band starts, before the game starts, tires still on. Always do it before. They want to see a nice picture. They want to see an update from the SNC. That's the 20%. Guys, 3 things. 1, we need to identify our alumni. So we need to have a database. It needs to be coordinated both with the international fraternity, the local chapter, and the alumni association. It needs to be one universal database. 2, we have to communicate with them. Send them newsletters. And have a social media and email plan. Third thing to do is we have to have events. 1 to 2 a year. Quality, not quantity. Family friendly. It's kind of like Pike University. Like we don't plan. Like after the Redbirds game, I know you're planning to go. You're going to watch a movie and have like no time. I know you're going out here to the field street. Like, you're going to find a way to have fun outside. This is my job. This weekend is not to make sure that you have a good time after 10 o'clock at night. Like alumni will figure that out themselves. Your job is not to facilitate the party for them. Your job is to show them how good of an organization you are and help you continue those methods. They'll find a way to have a good time. Okay? Cultivate your alumni. I asked a question at the beginning. What do you want of your alumni? We want to keep them involved. We want advisors. We want money or some things that I heard. So that's the ask. Why do this? Why communicate with your alumni? We talked about at the beginning. It's about connecting your alumni and keeping them involved. And whether that involvement means money, time, or just general engagement, that's for you to decide. If you've never had that conversation, have it with your exec. Why should we do this? Why should we invest $10,000 in an alumni newsletter? What's the point? What do you want? What is your end goal? Covey is the beginning of the end in mind. What are you trying to do? What are you doing for? A couple things that I say is, guys, if you currently do not have an alumni association, your goal should be to start one. Put in the labor up front end and then let the alums do all that work. Let them manage the database. Let them fund the newsletter. Let them plan the alumni events. You just need to be along for the ride. Start that alumni association. Your job is to do steps 1 through 3. Identify the alumni, communicate with them, have the events, moving towards that alumni association. Because your job is not necessarily to ask them for money. Alums will give you money. Hey, we're having a drive. They'll give you $100, $200, $500, big check. You want the $10,000, $50,000, the $1 million check for your alums? The chapter never makes that ask. Alums ask other alums for money. That's how fundraising works. You get peer fundraising. You know, unfortunately, you're that 21-year-old college kid. He asked the guy for a certificate money for him. But when his brother comes and says, "Hey man, remember all that big time I had a chapter? I'm supporting. I'm giving $1,000." That's how you do it. Alumni build houses. Alumni raise money, and alumni advise the chapter leadership. Your end goal should not just be money. If it is, you need to reevaluate what's going on within the organization. Money can be a part of that, but it has to go for something. Alumni are just going to give you a check. Pike University scholarships, a housing opportunity, some other tangible leadership opportunity. They have to be able to